Welcome to Start Homeschooling, where confident homeschooling thrives. Homeschooling is not school at home. It's a way of life. We encourage, empower, and equip you to cultivate the authentic homeschool lifestyle where freedom and relationships rule.
Hello, friend. Welcome to Statheros Homeschooling. I'm Michelle, and I'm here with Kim and Stacy to talk about the fears we all have. Are we doing this homeschooling thing? It's usually at times like this that I think we should just start with taking a deep breath, relax, don't forget to breathe out, and remember why you started the journey in the first place. Homeschooling is a gift that we get to give ourselves, our children, and our families. All of us here have had the same thought, oh no, can I do this? Am I doing it right? But we have to go back and consider some questions before we really dive in and answer the question. And we'll ask you this question: is there really one right way to do anything? There may be a right answer, but there's a lot of leeway in the process of getting to that right answer. In homeschooling, yes, we need to teach reading, writing, and reasoning, math. After all, we are raising adults who want to be in the outside world, who we want to be outside of our homes one day, working on their own and raising their own family. Other than that, and the legal requirements for the state you are in, you are more free than you think you are, as Colleen likes to remind us.
Also, who decides what's right anyway? Who decides what's right for your family? Who decides what's right for your children? When we think about what's right, are we thinking about a stereotype? Are we thinking about the way that someone else has done it in our life? And so we think that's the one right way. And it's really not the right way. It might have been that family's right way, but it might not be the right way for you. So I would say also avoid the comparison trap. I think for myself, that would be the times when I felt that I wasn't doing something right, was when I looked at other people and they were doing something differently. And then I would feel that I wasn't living up to what they were doing. And that really just boils down to the comparison trap. Your family is unique, just like their family is unique. Think about it. When you're handed your baby in the hospital, you're worried about all you need to do and all you need to know, but you get to grow with that child. And you think about it, if you have more than one child, did they learn to potty train the same way at the same time, the same age? Probably not. Did they learn to ride a bicycle at the same ages? Were they wearing the same size clothes at the same age? Mine definitely were not. So these are things that you taught them or you learned with them, and you just learned as you watched them grow, you persevered through with them. And you've already enjoyed the results of with them. The same goes with homeschooling. You get to grow as they do. The most important elements in homeschooling are the parent and the child, right? If you have those two things, you're already right on track. And I'm pretty sure that we all can check that box, right? Do you love your child? Of course. Do you want what is best for your child? Of course. Do you want to build connection with your child for the long term? And then just really basic things like, can you read? Probably so. Can you do basic math? So far, so good. Now for some harder questions.
And I'd even go back to the one on can you read? It's fascinating if you read Ben Carson's story. His mother didn't know how to read, but
Right.
she required so much out of her boys that they became incredible students. So even if you can't read, you can learn.
Such a good
And you
point.
can, especially with younger kids, you can learn as they do and go on with them. And you can still require hard things of them, even if it's not your skill set. Those are the basic questions. There is a broader question. In particular, does your child listen to you and the boundaries you set? We really don't mean always. We certainly have children who have rolled their eyes at us, walked away while we're talking, or just been rude a time or two or 200. These are normal human behaviors, not fun, but normal. And really, don't we react that way sometimes too? The mutual respect in the home is very important, not just for schooling, but for the building of relationships and the growing of a functional adult. Teaching them how to interact with others is very valuable, and teaching them how to listen to boundaries is necessary. It's a necessary life skill. It starts from very young. So if you are just starting out in this journey and you have a young child, work on your relationship with your child. Even with an older child, that parent-child relationship is invaluable. And there is so much blessing in the mutual respect, treating each other as wonderful human beings with value and worth and dignity. A child can learn to treat an adult that way. An adult needs to treat a child that way. It goes both directions.
Another hard question to consider is, are you willing to forego some of your free time and some of your freedom to maybe homeschool in the morning, to work with your child in the evening, to take your own time to plan out a schedule, grade the child's work, research what comes next for your child? Homeschooling does take a lot of time and it does take a lot of effort, but it is the best effort that you will ever give your child. You're growing a relationship, you're growing their academics, you're growing their spiritual, their character, you're growing everything. But it will take a commitment from you. And you'll need to look into reading, writing, exploring all the things that might be important to your family and for your child, and ensure that you have the time to devote to that.
Again, the most important investment you can make in your family is showing up. We are so aware of how hard it can be, but like Stacy said, there is no greater gift.
Welcome to Start Homeschooling, where confidence replaces confusion and you're never left to figure it out alone. Our umbrella school, Start Academy, fulfills legal reporting requirements for Colorado families, and we offer annual homeschool evaluations in Colorado and Florida. But that's just one part of what we do. We also offer personalized coaching, official transcripts, high school planning help, and detailed transcript reviews so your student stays on track and set up for success. Do you need tools to stay organized? Our shop is stocked with homeschool essentials like planners, attendance logs, course description guides, report cards, unit studies, and even creative printables for younger learners. Whether you need parent training support, guidance on how to plan, ideas on how to teach, scheduling assistance, help with course planning, high school help, or just peace of mind that you're doing it right, we are here for you. Visit the show notes for more information and let us walk alongside you.
We have loved growing with each of our children. We have loved seeing who they have become, and we have loved the time we have spent with them. We understand there are seasons where it's hard, very hard, and sometimes it really is putting one foot in front of the other to do the next right thing. And yet sometimes it's also a moment you have to take a step back. You have to hit a reset button, take a total break. This is where some of us have just pushed curriculum to the side in order to work on the relationship with our child, in order to see how this particular curriculum didn't work for that child. And so it's a time to pivot, a time to try a new tactic.
And then switching gears just a little bit, we're asked quite often. In fact, this came up in our private Facebook group, which if you'd like to join that, look us up, Stetheros Homeschooling private Facebook group. But we asked a question this week about what kinds of things would you like to hear us talk about on the podcast? What are you worried about? And one of the things that comes up frequently is, what about gaps? What if we miss something important, something that we're not even aware of? I remember thinking so much while I was homeschooling and even beyond, what don't I know? Please tell me what you think I don't know. And I don't care if I already know it and you tell me again, that's not a problem. Because we all wonder, we want to make sure that we're not missing something. Because again, our kids are so important to us and we want to do this. Again, like Michelle said at the beginning, we take a deep breath And we go back to the basics and we ask ourselves, what is most important? Of course, you have your basic academic subjects. You've got math, reading, writing, speaking, history, science, and civics. Those are your basics, especially required in Colorado. Don't have to hit every single one every single day, but just make sure you get those in there. And then you've got the fun stuff that makes life enjoyable. You've got music, you've got the arts, you've got sports, hobbies, your church life, all those kinds of things. And really connected with that is we focus on their character, kindness, honesty, humility, gratitude, respect, just to name a few. Our kids' spiritual life is so important. It's really such a huge reason that many homeschoolers get involved in homeschooling. Each home has its own values, and homeschooling is a great way to pass those on. So, focusing on what's important to you and your family is really legitimate and very critical. Life skills are also important. Chores matter. We have th- talked about how when a child has chores in the home, it builds their self esteem. It shows them they're a necessary part of this family unit. And obviously, for their own self control, self discipline, their future lives, their future spouses, all those things. And we actually have a life skills checklist for those who are interested. We'll add that in the show notes. You might be worried about gaps in higher level math, possibly. This is one of those things that homeschool moms tend to think more and more about as their children are in high school, about the higher level math, testing, SAT, ACT, maybe CLT or an AccuPlacer test. Some people think math is math and every concept is covered in every curriculum, but it's really not. So if you think that your student will eventually be college bound, taking a college entrance exam, you'll want to take a look at the Khan Academy SAT prep course as one option, just to make sure that you're covering everything that they might see on those tests. There are other options as well, but you could use something like the Khan Academy SAT prep course to fill in the gaps that you find that your particular curriculum might have missed in the higher level maths. Yeah, and gaps might also show up in higher level grammar and possibly writing. You will only want to worry about this if your child is planning on taking college entrance exams. And if this is the case, make sure you include that in your curriculum. One good option that we've had some real good luck with is called Sentence Composing for High School by Dawn and Jenny Kilgallen. It includes solid writing and grammar instruction in this one very small book. It really packs a punch.
The reality is, we never stop learning. Our school years, yes, will have some gaps, whether we're traditional school or homeschooled. That goes back to what Kim was saying earlier. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. We can listen to many podcasts like our own or others out there, read. Again, our website is incredible for all of the information and will help you understand different things that you may not have thought of before to fill in those gaps. But in reality, it's impossible to include everything in those 12 years of education with your children. Teach them to love learning, to be lifelong learners, because they will fill in those gaps as they grow, and they will help you understand where they need something more than what you had given. So research that and find out as they're growing, what were they missing and how can you help them fill that in? These gaps do shrink over time.
In our world today, we have easy, immediate access to information that no generation previous has had. It's amazing what we carry around in our pockets every day. Our phones have the answer to anything. We use Google as a verb. We can look up anything. So as our kids grow, we can primarily focus on their love of learning, as Michelle was saying, how to learn about what interests them and what they need to know. And a big part of that and the knowledge and the tools that we have at our fingertips is that homeschooling is not school at home. You don't have to make it school at home. And in fact, we don't recommend you make it school at home. We recommend that you make it homeschooling, that it fits your family and your home. School in general takes more time. And when you're homeschooling, sometimes people, when they're new to it, are shocked at how few hours it takes to effectively and efficiently learn as a homeschooler. And the beauty of that is there's so much more time in the day left for child-led learning, for delight-directed learning, and for all the things that your student wants to focus on. So just dive into that beauty and that knowledge, and don't look at it as a gap, but look at it as a benefit and a gift of homeschooling, that you're not schooling at home and you're not traditional schooling. You can follow the child's interest, and that will blossom into a lifelong love of learning for them.
And we all speak from experience. Most of us have made it. We haven't graduated all our kids yet, but we've all at least graduated one child. And we've been amazed by what this journey has taught us and has taught them, and what they have gone on to do and become. And it's fascinating to watch your adult children drag you in now to what they're learning, because they're now excited about something. So they're recommending books to you because they're still enjoying the love of learning. And that's happened in each of our families. So as you keep loving your child and working toward their best, you will do right by them. In the end, it's not about doing it the right way, because again, is there really one right way? But it's doing it what is best for each individual child. Your children have been born into your family for a reason, and your value as a parent cannot be understated. You are necessary for their flourishing. Enjoy the time with them. Enjoy the gift that homeschooling is.
From confused and overwhelmed to confident and thriving, our homeschool coaching helps you find your footing and flourish. Start your transformation with us today in the show notes. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed the conversation and found it insightful. Be sure to check out today's show notes for all applicable links and additional resources. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. Your support helps us continue to bring you great content. Until next time, happy homeschooling.